so proud to be Haitian because just everything about being Haitian is just awesome.
Everyone know about the history of Haiti, first Black independent country in 1804.
Understanding the history of Haiti, Haitian people, you can't help but be proud of the accomplishment that have happened.
Haitian Americans have done really well in the past few years. There's still a lot more work to be done. Only about 20% of us actually have a bachelor's degree.
I understand firsthand some of the challenges that Haitian American students, graduates, and professionals have faced.
Some of them have overcome incredible adversity.
Immigrated or asylum seekers or refugees.
There are not that many Haitian-focused scholarships, but like any other award, the NAAHP Leadership Award is providing recognition for one's hard work.
As we know, college is expensive, so this scholarship fund provides the chance for a brighter future.
It felt like the universe was speaking, like I needed the money, I was intrigued, people were telling me to apply.
Going to college or graduate school can be very, very expensive. So donating to a scholarship like this would help that expense be more manageable.
Future generation of leaders, scholars, entrepreneurs,
young adults that are trying to make something of their lives.
They are rock stars. They just need the help, and they need us to help them accomplish it.
There's like this Haitian proverb that says, "Meon pi cha palu," many hands make the load lighter.
Log in and you can donate $10, $25, $50.
It makes me think of the Malcolm X quote that education is our passport to the future, for tomorrow belongs to those who prepare for it today. It makes me happy to know that our organization is contributing to that goal, preparing others for the future.
Welcome. Hi, everyone. Welcome to the Virtual Scholarship Information Session Part 3. I will be your host. My name is Sophia Renville, and we have speaker Dr. Ganael Joseph Santis. I will just give you a background bio information about Dr. Ganael Joseph Santis. She's a resident fellow physician at Massachusetts General Hospital and a clinic fellow at Harvard Medical School. Her areas of interest are immigration, mental health, and pain management. She has been recognized for her leadership skills by both the American Psychiatric Association and the American Academic of Neurologists. Dr. Joseph Santis holds a Bachelor's of Science in Neuroscience and a medical degree from New York Medical College. She's a former 2018 recipient of the National Alliance for the Advancement of Haitian Professionals, NAAHP Leadership Scholarship Award, and a current scholarship committee member. Prior to medical school, she attended Brown University, where as an AmeriCorps Civil Fellow and volunteer, she logged 1,000 hours answering calls for a suicide hotline. That experience fostered a desire to pursue psychiatry. Ganael's work has been published in peer-reviewed journals and recognized with multiple awards and grants. In a service learning project for a homeless shelter in 2018, she helped redesign the shelter intake process with the goal of reducing opioid overdose and tuberculosis outbreak. Ganael is the first person in her family to become a doctor and graduate from high school, middle school, college, and medical school. And I'm also the speaker. I'm a philanthropist, a leader, an advocate, and an entrepreneur. I have helped many different people in marginalized community. I'm a rising civil and human rights leader with a track record of success in a various fields, including business, law, government, education, nonprofit, and intergovernmental organization. I have solved complex issues for business and legal issues. I spent the majority of my career working on the front line of many of the world's most pressuring challenges at the municipal, state, federal levels, and I have advocated for individuals from disadvantaged communities on health, education, global poverty reduction, and civil and human rights. I am very enthusiastic about justice for human rights, themes from experience of growing up, which sparked a passion for business, law, and policy. I want to spend my career helping those in need of formation to protect their legal rights or bring about social change. My current interest lies in a particular practice experience needed to navigate the evolving field of entrepreneurship and community development. I have volunteered with various organizations, including American Cancer Society, the American Constitution Society, America Needs You, Columbia University, Harvard University, Lincoln, and the University of Southern California, just to name a few. I also mentor local students in middle, high school, college, and graduate schools using my legal education to help. And also, I'll just like to introduce Dr. Ganael to give you information on the letters of recommendation.
Thank you so much, Ms. Renville. Thank you, everyone, for being here this afternoon, and welcome to the NAAHP. A little bit about myself. I'm Dr. Ganael Joseph Sinatus. I am a resident in psychiatry at Mass General Hospital. And just a few years ago in 2018, I myself was in the same role where I received this NAAHP Scholarship Award for Leadership. So I feel very grateful to be in a place where I can tell you about both sides of being an applicant. And now that I am for a few years out, I'm also in the committee that selects the future awardee of the NAAHP scholarship. And overall, the membership of the NAAHP, the applicants that we get, being able to read about them, about their struggles, about their successes has been thrilling. And it's wonderful to do the full 180 from applicant to now be on the other end of the committee where I'm helping select the next awardee. And that's why I feel very poised to give you this talk today about how to best frame and phrase your applicant to maximize your chances of getting this award. So for this NAAHP scholarship, it's for young Haitian American students who are doing wonderful things, and we want to celebrate them. We want to see what they're doing. We want to brag about you. That's how I see it. And there's a great joy in reading what other people write about you. For the scholarship, the deadline for that to apply is May 31st of 2022. So you have a few weeks to go. And one of the requirements is that you provide 2 letters of recommendation from someone who knows you well, one of them being a professor or a teacher of yours. The other letter of recommendation can be from anyone who knows you well, who can tell us about you, who can brag about you the way you brag about yourself in your own personal statement. So that is the requirement. 2 letters of recommendation from people who know you. One of them must be someone who's a teacher, professor of yours, whether you're in high school, community college, university, someone who is in a teaching role who sees how you're excelling. And the other from anyone else, that family, of course, someone who's a supervisor, a mentor, someone else in your life who's important. Okay, so the timeline, as I said, the application is due May 31st of 2022. So there's a few weeks before when you ask for the letter, when you start your application, and when it's supposed to be finalized for us to review. And I look forward to reading those applications. The whole committee looks forward to reading the applications. I think we have the funds and we want to share with the deserving members of the Haitian community, and we want to know what's happening. So first things first, you have 2 letters of recommendations that we would like from you. Who do you ask for those things? That's the biggest question, really. Let me give you a personal background story of mine. At this point, I have gone to university, medical school, and I'm in a training program to become a psychiatrist. So at multiple phases of my career, I have had to ask for letters of recommendation, because you may have a wonderful portfolio, a wonderful resume, a wonderful CV, and you can have a wonderful letter, personal statement. But we want to add more to that. Who else thinks you're wonderful? Who else has seen things about you that you yourself have not been able to see, and they can be best express that in a letter format for you? So whether it's for schooling or for a job application, an internship, you want a reference. A letter of recommendation is just a reference. To say, put, when you have a friend or you go into a restaurant, you want to Google, is this a good restaurant? You want to know. You want to confirm your suspicion, and you want to have as much data as possible so you feel like you're making a good choice. So that's what we want to see from you. So who do you ask for a letter? The way I view letters of recommendation is someone in your life thinks you're wonderful, and because you are wonderful. Let's start with that. And how do you find the person who can best describe you the way you want to be described, or the way that highlights your best features? So you start out with your letter or personal statement. You know what you want to say in your application, what points about you or stand out. And you want to have that reflected also in the letter of recommendation from the other person. So you have several weeks out. First thing you do is make a list of the people in your life, people who know you enough. Not the teacher that you see once a year, once a month, but someone who's more consistent in your life, who's seen you progress from whether a struggle to being an outstanding student, or even you were already outstanding and they've coached you, they've seen you be even better than you were before. That's the right person to get a letter of recommendation from, because they have a holistic view of you. And the same way that you're planning to write your own statement, your personal statement for this scholarship, you have a frame of mind of what you want to highlight. So you pick that person that you want to contact and you contact them. Let's say via email or in person. You approach them and you say, "Hello, so-and-so. I have known you for this long, this many days, years, semesters. You know me very well. I trust that you've seen me grow in this circumstance. From this point to this point, I've known you since this. I trust your judgment. And I think you know me enough to speak very highly of me. I'm applying for this scholarship. These are the points that they're looking for. This is a leadership scholarship. We want to see how you're excelling, how you're promoting the community, the environment, whatever cause, the arts. These are the points I want to highlight." And you ask the person, "Do you think that you can speak of me on these topics and write me a phenomenal letter of recommendation?" Not simply a letter of recommendation, but you want to know that that person can write you a great letter of recommendation. It rarely happens, but there are instances where the person writes you a letter that says, "I met so-and-so 2 weeks ago. She is phenomenal. Please give her this award." That's good to hear, but we want to know more. As we always say, show, don't tell. That person must be able to give us details. They can list your top 3 best traits. And you, as the applicant, when you're asking them for that letter of recommendation, you can even ask them, "I would like for you to highlight these 3 things. I'm passionate about this topic. I am very friendly and amicable. I am goal-oriented." You yourself can help craft that statement by giving the letter writer the points about you that you feel that are exceptional, that will help complement your own personal statement that you're writing for yourself. And you tell the person, "This application is due by this date, or scholarship is due on May 31st. You always want to give a little leeway so that the person has time to craft you a great letter. They can revise it a few times. They might even share it with you or not. You can say, "Okay, this is wonderful, thank you," or "Make this one change here. There's a little mistake right there." And they will deliver for you if they believe that you are a great applicant worth supporting. That's why it's within your hands to choose who is the best person to help you with this application. I myself get a great joy from hearing what other people write about our candidates for the scholarship. There's nothing like having bragging rights. Like, I want to see, as the committee member, that there are people who are cheering you on, teachers, mentors. There are people out there who believe that you are doing a phenomenal job already and that you will keep doing a phenomenal job. And that's all we ask from a letter writer. When you do email that person for a letter of recommendation, oftentimes they might ask you for a copy of your own letter to make sure that their letter align with yours. But one of the things that the least minimum might be sharing with them your resume or your CV. That way, with the 3 major characteristics that you want to highlight for yourself, they can pick and choose which of your activities, your volunteering, your degree, your extracurriculars best fit that, so that they can pull from your own personal statement, they can pull from your resume, they can pull from your CV to say, so and so is good at that, and I have seen it firsthand how they've been good at this. They can be concrete. They can show us, describe to us instead of tell us. That's what makes a great letter of recommendation. So be very mindful of who you choose for your application, because that person, you want them to highlight your best characteristics. And they can put you even in a better light that you put yourself in. It's like when you're getting hired for a job, whether it's at McDonald's or a grocery store or a law firm or as a doctor. Someone on the other end who is hiring you, even to become a volunteer, will call someone that you know and say, do you trust so and so? Do you believe that they will do as good a job as they say they are? They are phenomenal on paper. They have a wonderful writer. They have a wonderful resume, wonderful CV. But I trust you as someone who knows them in real life to even add more, make them look even better than they already look. And that's what a letter writer will do for you. No person in the world, whether it's the US president, a senator, a congressman, a doctor, a lawyer in your life, a housekeeper, a teacher, no one gets as far as they're going without standing on the back of someone else. As Haitians, we always say we stand on the back of our ancestors, stand on the back of our families, the people who have come before us. In a way, it's the same thing. That person who's writing your letter is letting you borrow their credibility in the moment to stand on their back, because we trust their word that they know you well and that you're wonderful, and they can express that to us. So a letter recommendation is a beautiful thing. And as you move on through the years, for a longer term, a letter writer for you, someone who writes a letter recommendation, as they get to know you more, they may not even need your CV or your resume to write that letter for you. They just know how wonderful you are because they've seen it with their own eyes. And they can actually say, without needing external support, so and so is wonderful. So and so has done this. I have seen this student in my class helping someone else. This is how far they went. That comment they're making may not be on your resume because you didn't know that about yourself, but they were watching how great you were. So another great point why a letter recommendation is a wonderful way to present yourself and investing in the people in your lives, your teachers, your mentors, your bosses, your pastor, whoever it is. They can help you get where you want in life. And a letter writer doesn't have to be someone who is a big name, who is famous in something. That is not the goal. The goal is someone who knows you, who can speak for you. It's not someone who is using a template, who's just putting your name and a date and is very generic. It's a natural process. And we want to get to know you. The best way to get to know you as committee members for the scholarship is to read about you authentically. And that comes through when it's from someone who knows you. So that's one of my thoughts about who to ask and how to ask. The point is, in person or by email, you approach the person, you let them know how great they are, how they've known you, how much you trust them, and how you think that they have a great judgment. They can describe you well, and that's why you believe that they're the best fit to write this letter for you. And you highlight for them the points that you want to highlight of yourself. And you ask them, do you think that you can write me a phenomenal letter by this date? And as always ask for a date that's before the actual application is due, because you want to have extra time. You don't want things to crash, websites to go down, for you to have an emergency. Things happen. So you want to give yourself the time and the resources to meet your own goal. That is all a part of being a good leader, time management and planning, because that person who's writing a letter for you may have family emergency. They may have something come up. They may forget. So you, as the applicant, you give them weeks to reply, to write this letter recommendation. And 2 weeks, 3 weeks, you give them a reminder email, reminder phone call, just to say, dear so-and-so, thank you so much for writing this letter recommendation. I'm looking forward to seeing your final draft. A reminder that this letter is due by this date. I'm very enthusiastic about this scholarship. I think I'm very deserving of the award, and I'm looking forward to hearing from you. And that's how you wrap it up. And hopefully they give you that letter back, and you can upload it to their website with the NAAHP scholarship. It's a very simple link. You simply upload the letter recommendation. As I said before, we require 2 letters of recommendation. And another precaution, because things happen, people get sick, people have emergencies, your letter writer may say to you, I'm sorry, but my schedule right now is very full. I know that you're great, but I don't think that I can deliver a letter for you in this time frame. Or they may say, I know you well, but I don't know if I know you well enough to give you a phenomenal letter. I might be able to give you a good letter, but not be phenomenal. And that's why, even though we ask you for 2 letters, that's all you have to submit. Only submit 2 letters maximum. But as a practice, you always want to have more than you need. That's part of leadership. You're applying for a leadership scholarship to show that you are someone who is serious about your work, that you have already done great things, and you have so much more to deliver on. We want to see that in practice. So you yourself, you need 2 letters of recommendation. You say to yourself, let me ask 3 people in my life. Because if something happens to that person, they have an emergency, their schedule becomes inundated, you have a backup plan. You have another 3rd person who also believes you're phenomenal, who also can support you and highlight your characteristics. And in the end, you get to choose. If all 3 of the letter writers write you phenomenal letters, you get to pick 2 of them. You don't want to be at a spot where you're waiting, or where you feel like the letter writer is delaying your application process. That is on you as a blossoming, growing leader in your field, to plan things out in a way that will give you the best possibilities to accomplish this goal, which is of applying for the scholarship and getting the award. As always, every year we get every now and then an email to say, can we get an extension for this? We would love to. We have the fund. We want to read applications, but we also want applicants who are very diligent, who have great leadership qualities. One of those qualities is time management. Okay? So don't delay. Ask the right person. Ask them the qualities that you want them to describe about you. And ask more than you need. Always ask for more than you need. And if you don't ask, you can't get what you want, because they don't know. And that's why you take the lead in frame. I would like to highlight these qualities, and you get to pick which person in your life can best highlight those qualities for you. And as a practice for letter writers, it can be on the letterhead, their company, their work, whatever it is. And they can write the letter on that letterhead with their official signature, etc. We want to know that it's from them, it's an authentic person. And we trust you that you'll find someone who knows you well enough to deliver on that promise for us. So let's say your application comes through, you apply, you work on your resume, you work on your personal statement, you put in all your activities, your volunteering, your awards, you upload your 2 letters of recommendation, and we get the honor of reading about you. Sometimes you get to a point where the person is phenomenal, but the way someone else describes them makes them even more phenomenal. That's the joy we get from when people apply. It's something I do for fun. It's a volunteer for me. I truly enjoy hearing about you, hearing what you write about yourself, and even more so, looking to see what other people write about yourself. As now that I'm established in my career, I have younger peers, younger mentees who ask me for letters of recommendation. And it brings me great joy. In the same way that you ask someone to write your letter of recommendation, it brings them great joy to know that you trust them. That even though they're doing this for you for free, they're doing it out of the goodness of their heart. And they are proud to assist you. That way they can say, "You go, girl. I helped her get this for, I pushed her along." What person does not want to cheer for you and say they had a minor part in your growth, in your leadership? And that's what a letter writer wants. Someone who's enthusiastic, who's put together, and who has a set goal about why they want this scholarship. And they want to help you. And you have to tell them how they can help you. And their reward for writing a letter is the small joy of knowing how great you are, how well you're doing, and how much more you are going to be doing in the future. Okay. And the letter writer will send you their letter. You upload it with the link at NAAHP, the scholarship application section. You upload it very easily. You finalize the entire process and you press submit. A small reminder is that the application is a one-time process. You cannot start the application and pause or save. You have to do it in one sitting. So one recommendation is you can copy the prompt, the personal statement, the topic, you know what is required. Keep for yourself a list of to-dos, put them in a folder somewhere, on a computer somewhere, or Google Docs. Amass all of the information in one place. And when you're ready, on one day, you copy and paste into the text box, you upload the documents, and you press send, and you sit and wait and watch your work be accomplished. It's a simple process, but simple is not always easy. But as someone who's going to be a leader in our field, in the Haitian community, in our world, we want to know that you're wonderful. We know you're wonderful. We want to see how you're wonderful. We want to support you in being more wonderful. So we take letters from college professors, mentors, high school professors, deans, principals, counselors, the people in your life who know you, who are rooting for you, mentors, bosses, supervisors, church leaders. Does not have to be someone only in an academic setting, in a school setting. We only require one of those two letters to be from a professor or a teacher. The others, you have the discretion to choose someone who knows you well. Otherwise, let's say you're the lucky few recipients this year, and you know you're one of them who will be awarded this scholarship. One day you wake up, check your email, and you see, dear so-and-so, congratulations. You have received the NAAHP scholarship for 2022. You should be ecstatic, jumping from the roof, on your bed, whatever makes you the happiest. What do you do at that point? It's not a requirement of ours, but a general practice is that someone has helped you. You've helped yourself, so you can thank yourself too in that moment. You've done a good job. Pat yourself in the back for doing a good job. And then let it sink in. Keep the excitement, and you contact your letter writer and say, dear so-and-so, thank you so much for writing me a letter of recommendation for this topic, for this scholarship. So far, I was just notified that I have won this award. Thank you so much for supporting me, for getting me along. I appreciate you. Thank you. That's a simple to do. If you're able to ask them for a letter of recommendation, telling them thank you for the letter is much easier. One thing I want to clarify also is that your letter writer does not include someone in your family. Your family thinks you're wonderful. They're your family. We want someone who is more external to that. Someone who is biased towards you, but not in the biased sense where they're your family. So that's a little caveat. Many people can write your letter. We need two of them. One must be from a professor or a teacher, but the applicant cannot have a letter from a family member. So, in summary, I wanted to run through a few points from being at the point where I myself applied for this scholarship in 2018 and I was awarded the scholarship, to now being on the other end where I'm on the committee for the scholarship. So I have applied, I have put in my application, I've been in this position, and then I'm at the point where I'm reading how other people are doing it and what stands out from their application, aside from how great they are, their resume, their personal statement. I also get to see the people in their lives who are supporting them in writing, who are saying how great they are, how much they have to accomplish, how much is to be done, how much way there is to go up and up and up. So I've seen that. So you need two letters, one from a teacher or professor, one from someone else in your life, a mentor, a counselor, could be another teacher, but that second letter cannot be from a family member. All right. And then you let them know the deadline for when it's due. You give them a heads up, a reminder here and there, and then they send you an application. You always ask for more than you need. You only need two, but make a habit of asking for three. That way you have extra. Things happen, things change, people get busy. You take it on yourself to have a great application, and I take it on myself to read your application because it's going to be wonderful. And when you get that award, let them know, thank them, and we would wish you wonderful luck in this season. We look forward to application. We know you're already great. Whether you win this award or not, we still think you're phenomenal.
Thank you so much, Dr. Ghana. Those amazing advice. You're such an awesome scholar and leader in the community, and we thank you so much for everything that you're doing. Right now, we'll take Q&A. Does anyone have any questions? Please put it in the chat box. Do you guys have, so far what we have got in the chat box is, do you guys have a scholarship for fine art studies? Our scholarship is open to all majors, as long as you're Haitian American, so just apply we're open up to all majors. And also and then check out our website. Also, the next question that I received was in 2020, the event hit me hard. My grades declined. I nearly left my MMP program. I can push forward, and my GPA is now 3.189. Can I still apply for the NAAHP scholarship? Absolutely. We don't discriminate. We don't have a minimum GPA that you need to apply for the scholarship. We look at the recipient as a whole. And also this year, we're offering 2 scholarships. We have the traditional NAAHP Haitian American Leadership Award Scholarship, and then we have the separate one with St. Augustine. So just see which scholarship works for you. And also we have a third question. Just wanted to make sure 2 letters of recommendation from a teacher and of a person that knows you. We have to write a paragraph about ourselves, right? Dr. Ganais explained it, and I'll go over it again. Yes, we are requiring 2 letters of recommendation, one from a professor or teacher, someone who knows you. And then the second letter can be for someone you know personally. It doesn't have to be anybody in a particular profession. It could be your pastor. It could be anyone else that is not of your family member, as long as it's not your cousin, not your dad.
It doesn't have to be a big name, someone famous. It has to be someone who knows you. I think that was the point.
Exactly. Someone who knows you well, like someone who can speak highly of you. Like maybe you volunteer somewhere and they can speak highly of you. It's not the amount of letters that you have, it's the quality of letters that you have. Someone who speaks to your captain, like, hey, I know this person, this is a good person. But please don't have your mom writing a letter of recommendation on your behalf, because that will not help you fulfill the scholarship requirement.
I have one more point. I think earlier someone asked, is there a scholarship for the fine arts? I know as Haitian cultured, we always say doctor, lawyer, and engineer, but we know that leadership is very broad. Leadership covers all fields, and we want to celebrate all leaders across the spectrum, whether it's through arts, athletics, academics, medicine, physics, math, printing, copying, sewing, embroidery, whatever you're the leader in, we want to know about it. So don't hesitate to apply, whatever your major. And the fact that we're also open to high school seniors who may not have a major yet before they go to college tells you that we're open to anyone of any field who is showing leadership characteristics.
Yes, absolutely. And also we have this new scholarship, which is called the Partnership Scholarship with St. Augustine, that you can also look up their majors and see if there's any major that is in coincide with what you would like to major with. But our scholarship is not major specific. It's as a whole. We look at you holistically. We want to know you as a person. Like, who is this person that we're giving leadership to? As you can see, one of our amazing scholarship recipients is Dr. Ganais. She's from 2018. Now we're in 2022. Look at her now doing amazing things, from being a scholarship recipient, scholarship committee member. She's now doing the reviewing. So it speaks volumes. So apply. Don't be afraid. And then also the time that it takes. I have another question. It says, is this a one-time scholarship, or does the scholarship go through the 4 years of college? Amazing. This is a one-time scholarship. Once you receive the scholarship, it's for one time. But the partnership St. Augustine scholarship is quite different, but for our traditional scholarship, you receive this payment one time. And I just also want to clarify, the scholarship, you would not receive it directly. The scholarship would be sent to the school. So you have to be enrolled in school, and then also you have to make sure that you're enrolled for that particular semester. So for the fall 2022 is when you will receive the scholarship, not spring 2022, not summer 2022, but the fall 2022. This particular scholarship is open for the fall 2022.
One more point I want to highlight about this scholarship. It is a one-time scholarship, but once you get this award, doors do open. I applied for this award. I have been introduced to the NAAHP network. I've met many wonderful people in all different fields, not just my own that I would never have known if I didn't get the scholarship. I am meeting Haitian people, non-Haitian people that I would never interact with otherwise. I think the NAAHP does a wonderful job to support you once you get that award, get you into a network that you may not have access to. I think there's more to just the monetary value, which is wonderful too, that's why you're applying for it. But do account for those extra perks, that the fact that you'll be on our website, people might know your name and contact you on LinkedIn or other professional networks because they see that you're someone who has leadership skills, who has promise, and that promise will carry on for several years.
Yes, and this is our scholarship website page. As you can see on the left is the NAAHP Haitian American Leadership Award Scholarship. This particular scholarship is awarded one time for the fall 2022, and then if you don't get the scholarship this year, you reapply, and hopefully if you get it one time. And then the scholarship on the right is our partnership scholarship, which will be funded for the whole 4 years. It's a full ride if you plan on attending St. Augustine University. So yes, we have two separate scholarships. Please apply. And also just want you to keep in mind, don't be afraid. I don't know how much of you understand the translation. So don't say close my speak up. And if you have any questions, if you didn't feel comfortable asking us questions tonight, please reach out to us in our emails. We're very flexible. We'll reach out. We'll have conversations with you. And if you need accommodations, please let us know, because we're very want you guys to win, because we believe in sticking together. And even if you don't win the scholarship, please still join NAAHP, and not only join NAAHP, but reach out to us, participate in our networks, and do different things. We are here to make sure that we can accommodate you and help you. And then we have resources on our pages that will be able to support you in anything that you need. So if you don't get a scholarship from us, maybe on our resource page, you can get one scholarship by applying to a different scholarship for the next year. But this is it. We look forward to reading your application, and we're so happy, and we look forward to continue to support you in your journeys, and we wish you well. And anything that you have to ask us, just let us know. Reach out to us. We're accessible.
Exactly. You're Haitian American, Haitian background. You're already wonderful. You come from wonderful people, and we know that you're going to do wonderful things.
Yes.
It's as simple as that.
Absolutely. And we accept all Haitians. We don't care who you are. We accept every Haitian. So come to NAAHP.
Thank you so much, everyone. I don't think we have any more questions for the night. Otherwise, I would say have a wonderful evening. It's been wonderful sitting with you here, Sophia.
Nice having you. Thank you so much, Dr. Ghanaians. You're doing so amazing. So much things that you provide for the community, and the things that you do for NAAHP can't go without being recognized. Thank you so much. And this has been an amazing panel.
Thank you. Thank you, everyone. Have a wonderful evening.
Goodbye.